Everybody. So welcome to the final video in this tutorial series. So for this one, we're going to be doing the JavaScript for this project. And with this JavaScript, we're going to be connecting the button to the animation that the button will control when the animation starts and stops. We're also going to add a conditional render so that when the button is clicked, it will change from saying click to start the animation to stop animation. So in order to do that, a little bit of JavaScript over here. And before we can start the JavaScript, there's a couple of things I want to change over the index.html. If you've been following along, you definitely want to go ahead and things here. So the first thing I want to do is I decided I wanted to change this from animate button to animate ball. So we're going to just change on click equals animate button to animate ball, just because I think that's going to be more representative of what the functions do that we're actually going to be creating JavaScript here. The other thing we want to do in the index.html file is we want to go ahead and add a script source tag. And so for that script src equals quotes, and then if you're along, it'll just be this. If you're using a different project, then obviously whatever your file directory is that you have your JLN. So in our case, we're just going to be using that. So cool. So that should take care of the HTML. Go ahead and save that. All right. The other thing we're going to do is over in the CSS, we're going to create two new classes. So make this ball here, and I'm going to take that. We're going to, and just below the initial, we're going to paste that, and then we're going to do a dash animated, and do our curly, and then we're going to take this animation we declared earlier in this video, and we're going to cut that, and we're going to paste it inside of this animated class here. So the reason we're doing that is because we want to actually add this to this class here. And when we do that, it will then add effectively this animation, will start the animation. If we didn't do that, animation would continue to play automatically, regardless of the button. So because we just play when we button, we want to be able to do this like so. So we're going to do that for this, and then also for the ball shadow, we're going to do the same, only in this case, we're just going to take the ball shadow, and we're going to go down, load again, and we're going to add animate, and then same thing, just going to cut, paste that inside of that. Cool. So now we've done that. So if we go in here to the go live again, open that up, the animation, instead of playing automatically, should just be sitting there at its first keyframe. So as you can see, the animation is not playing. We haven't with the button yet, so the button's still not working. But the animation is not at this point anymore like it was before. So that's what we want. So to now, looking together, we're going to come in here and first we're going to make some variables just to reference the difference in the DOM here. So we're going to do const. I'm going to do this for the ball, and that's just going to be equal to the get element by ID, and we name the ball, which is right here. And then we're going to do the same thing for shadow and the animate button, and cut and paste this on over to save some time. But it's basically the same thing. In this case, we're just referencing the ball shadow, and in this case, for the button, we're animating, grabbing the animate button right here. Cool. Alrighty, so what we're going to do is actually the function. So I'm going to put a little note here. Cool. We got that now. And so the first thing I'm going to do, because I want to do that conditional render, is I'm going to set up a variable that's going to be a true or false variable. And this I'm going to just call it animation or animate. Animated equal to. So what I'm doing here is I'm using let instead of const because this is going to changing as we click the button. These are going to be staying the same all the time. This is actually going to change its definition based of whether or not we clicked the button. So we're going to use a let there instead, so we can use that. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to create the unit itself, and this function is going to be what we named the animate ball. So we're just going to say const animate ball. And I'm an arrow function here for this, but you could always use a traditional function as well if you do. And inside of that function, we're going to if statement. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little shorthand here. So instead of writing out animated equal false, I'm going to actually just do this. I'm just going to say if not animated, meaning if it's do this. And the things we want it to do is the animated variable here is false. We want it to take the ball and we want it to go to its class list and we want it to add this class to that, which in this case was this right here that we just declared. So what we can do to chat real quick here is we can close that out. We go live over here. Okay, and that is not playing when I do that. So let's see. Okay, button on click, animate ball. Yeah, let animated equal false. If not animated, class list, add ball animated. Animated. Everything is saved. All right, let's check the console here. It's saying animate ball is defined. Okay, so why is animate ball defined? Let's animate ball. Why is it not? Oh. It helps if you put the extension on your HTML file. Cool. Okay. So yeah, sorry about that, guys. That's what I get for trying to do this at about 4 a.m. So yeah, so now what we've done, if we refresh this here, if we click start, it's going to start the animation here. We don't have an end condition or anything like that yet, so it doesn't do anything when we do that. But we now know that it is actually connected and everything is from the JavaScript over to the HTML. So the thing we want to do is go ahead and also add effectively the same. So we're going to do the shadow, and we're going to do the same class list equals shadow animated. We also want to take the button. Before we do that, let's just make sure that we got that that correct. So we're going to save that. Awesome, awesome. So now you can see the shadow as well. The ball's bouncing, that good stuff. So cool. So we got those things working. So now we want to do the conditional part of the render for the button. So we're going to come in here and we're going to go animate button. And instead of doing a class, we're going to do a inner HTML, and we're going to set that equal to click to stop animate. Awesome. And if we save that and we come over here, what we should get is when we click this button, animation should start, and change from click to start animation to click animation. So there we go. So now it is changing that to click to stop animation, and the animation plays. All right. So now we just need to go ahead and get it so that when we click this again, it will stop the animation and render this back to the original text that we had here of click to start in. So to do that, I am going to set the variable to true. So we're just saying when we do this, at the very least, we want this to now be set to true. So then do else if, and in this case, that else if is going to be if animated. So instead of having to again animated equal true, say if animated, which is going to be the same thing as saying is true for this case. And we can do that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to copy this, and we're going to paste that. But what we're going to do is we're going to change where it says add. We're going to change to remove. Both cases. And we're going to change this to click to start animation. And then we're going to have it set animation now back to. So we're going to save that. And we're going to go check our live server again. And if we click everywhere, we should have it say click to stop animation. We do that, it'll say animation, everything goes back. We keep doing that over and over again as many times as we want. So cool. So now we've got everything hooked up. The animation is playing, and we can have a conditional render here on the button. We click it, we start the animation. It changes the text here to click to stop animation. Animation plays. We click it again. It's back to click to start animation, and the animation resets. And we can do this. So that would be how you would set up an animation and a conditional render here using CSS, HTML, and JavaScript. So I hope you guys found a use for that. It was kind of a fun little thing for me to play around. And yeah, I hope to see you guys again soon for my next series. And until then, a great one. All right, thanks. Bye-bye.